not out of cowardice that we have refrained from responding, even under extreme provocation. The Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, Ronald Lamola, said at a press conference in Jamestown on Monday. We are focused on the bottom line, on the negotiations of the framework. He continued, we remain open to engage with the U.S. Lamola noted that speculation about issues such as B and affirmative action had no place in the current talks unless formally tabled, stressing that Pretoria remains committed to addressing concerns based on the existing negotiation framework. We prefer to deal with what is in front of us, the facts, not what we hear in the streets, he added. The minister also reiterated South Africa's long-standing opposition on mineral beneficiation, arguing that value addition should all happen at the source. Meanwhile, Department of the Trade and Industry Deputy Director General Kolelwa Mlumbi Peter explained that the trade proposals submitted to Washington address core U.S. concerns, including the trade deficit. She also challenged the U.S. interpretation of the deficit, noting that it largely stems from critical minerals and agriculture goods essential to U.S. industry. Between February and July, our exports from the AfCFTA have reached over 1 billion rand. Mlumbi Peter added, underlining that South African exporters are already tapping into alternative markets. The United States announced the 30% tariff hike in late July, citing trade imbalances and limited market access. Pretoria contends that the figures reflect essential mineral and agriculture exports that meet U.S. demand. Negotiations between both sides are ongoing.
We have refrained from responding even under very extreme provocation. It was because of our understanding of the complexity of the geo-environment, because we are talking about the livelihoods and jobs of people that are at stake. So that's why we're focused on the ball, on the negotiations, on the framework, and we did not want to focus on the speculations, whether it's because of BEE or affirmative action or any other politics that has not been brought to the negotiation table. So we focus on what we have presented to the U.S. government, and we believe we're dealing with that. We have yet the speculations from those that have visited Washington who have told us that these are the issues that they were told, but those issues are not in the feedback and what we have on the table with regards to the framework that we have submitted. And you will know there were also other issues before we went to Washington, and also those other issues are also not in this framework that we're dealing with. So we prefer to deal with what is in front of us at these negotiations, so that we separate facts and other things that we hear in the streets. So that is what we are currently dealing with, and that's why we remain open to engage with the U.S. on the basis of this framework. You will have noted that when we raise the issue of value addition at source and also beneficiation, we raise it with the U.S., but not only with the U.S., we raise it with all our trading partners. If you look at the European Union statement we had with them here in March, it has a paragraph dealing with value addition in South Africa with regards to extraction. We have got almost the majority of the mineral resources that the world needs as a continent that must be beneficiated at source. And we have got a responsibility to ensure that this period of artificial intelligence and green economies and so forth does not leave Africa behind. And South Africa has got a bigger role to play as a member state of the African Union through the Africa Free Trade Area, but also as a member of various multilateral organizations to continue to champion this issue. So we will raise this at a bilateral level and also at multilateral platforms.
In terms of trade proposals to the U.S., as Minister Lamola has indicated in the statement, it covers a number of issues that the U.S.
sea,
has
land,
raised.
low altitude logistics with maiden offshore delivery by Evoto aircraft. China recently posted a significant milestone in low altitude aviation logistics after its electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft made its first delivery flight. Footage shows the Kaiju aircraft transporting boxes of fresh fruit, medicines, and other essential supplies to a China National Offshore Oil Corporation from Shenzhen in Guangdong province, southern China. It flew for 58 minutes to reach its destination located 150 kilometers off the coast. This maiden delivery marked a crucial advancement in the development of China's sea-land low-altitude logistics system. Compared to traditional transportation methods relying on ships and helicopters, Evoto offers significant advantages in operational cost, response speed, environmental sustainability with zero carbon emissions, comfort, and the ability to operate in confined takeoff and landing spaces, said Ren Yongyi, Deputy General Manager of the Coordination Department of Sinop's Shenzhen branch. Historically, supply deliveries to offshore oil rigs in China have heavily depended on sea-going vessels with one-way trips after exceeding 10 hours. This has made it challenging to meet urgent material dispatch and emergency response needs. Helicopters are sometimes employed in emergencies, but their operating costs are very high. This test flight represents a deep integration of innovative aviation technology, mature operational expertise, and real offshore operational demands. It establishes a closed loop encompassing development, operation, and practical application scenarios within low-altitude logistics. It also showcases the immense potential for low-altitude economy technologies to empower the traditional energy sector, said Ren. Developed by the Shanghai-based company Auto Flight, the V2000 CG carry all boost a maximum takeoff weight of 2 tons. It features a vertical takeoff and landing capabilities alongside a fixed wing cruising design, enabling its application in low-altitude logistics, emergency response, and other fields. Country risks sinking into violence. Ivory Coast locals fear repeat of deadly election crisis after Ouattara's fourth-term bid. Residents of Ivory Coast expressed concern after President Alassane Ouattara announced his bid for a fourth term, stirring fears of a repeat of the devastating post-election violence for 2010 to 2011 that left thousands dead. Ouattara, who amended the constitution in 2016 to reset term limits, defended his decision, insisting that both the constitution and his health allow him to continue serving. We don't want to see our brothers forced to flee to Ghana again, said Hippo Naibio of Abidjan, who said he was a victim of the violence in 2010 to 2011. I myself was kidnapped during the crisis and my skull was fractured 3 times. Now this is the time for citizens, the international community, and the religious leaders to take matters into their own hands to prevent further violence. Others shared their hope over the improving security situation in recent years, but noted their fears over the exclusion of candidates from the voting list. President Alassane Ouattara has always ensured the security of Ivorians and put in place a system for their well-being. I believe he must find a solution with excluded opposition figures. Being a candidate doesn't necessarily mean winning, but the president should order their re-registration on the electoral list. That way everyone can participate and Ivorians will be free to choose their leader, explained the opposition member Saibi Oscar. Meanwhile, supporters of Ouattara stress stability and progress. Tano, a ruling party member, said that the president is in good health and ready to continue serving the country for its serenity, security, and development. We must reshape the future of the Ivory Coast, he noted. 83-year-old Ouattara secured the third term in 2020 following a constitutional revision that reset presidential term limits. The current charter, adopted in 2016, permits him to seek re-election, once more potentially securing a fourth term in the office. More than 8.7 million Ivorians are registered to vote in the presidential election scheduled for October 25. Meanwhile, tensions escalated over the inclusion of some opposition candidates, bringing back fears of past election-related violence, such as the 2010-2011 crisis that killed over 3,000 people and the unrest that followed his controversial third-term run in 2020. Now that's fast food. Chills and Noga Festival in Mexico. Puebla serves up 1,500 dishes polished off in just 20 minutes. The state of Puebla celebrated on Sunday one of its most iconic dishes, the chile en nogada, through the 9th edition of the Festival of Del Cochil in Nogada, an initiative organized by the Culture Freedom Committee and supported by the state government and the Ministry of Arts and Culture. Held in the La Libertad district, home of the world's smallest volcano, El Comate, the festival runs over 3 weekends. An event brings together culinary heritage and cultural identity through a gastronomic route spanning several municipalities, offering over 30 rotating traditional recipes of chile and el nogada prepared by local cooks. Over 1,100 people from 10 universities participated, including students from the Benemérita Universidad Autónoma de Puebla, who contributed, staying true to the original recipe. The students made the production of approximately 100 chiles while we're working, relying on the organizers to make it and put together the production, and the Boab supported, of course, this event, said one of the chefs, Uzel Vega. The festival's highlight was the creation of the world's largest chile on nogada, measuring 10 meters long with more than 1,500 servings distributed in under 20 minutes. It was finished in less than 20 minutes, so I thank you very much to everyone who supported us. It was approximately 1,500 dishes that were being given away here in Junta Auxila de la Libertad, stated Ya Cruz, president of the Culture Freedom Committee. He also emphasized the importance of preserving the original recipe, noting that while many modern versions attempt to innovate by altering ingredients, this ultimately leads to the loss of authentic dish. We've actually come across several disconstructions of the dish, but the truth is that the original is from Puebla and is changed based on history, he concluded. The festival also serves a platform for traditional dances, art exhibitions, and other cultural expressions, reflecting the rich diversity of Puebla's indigenous communities. The Festival del Cochile en Nogada not only showcases Puebla's culinary excellence but also strengthens local identity, promotes tourism, and supports economic development in the region. We might lose vouchers completely. South African Wildlife Rehab Center warns of escalating wildlife poisoning crisis amid increasing cases of voucher poisoning in South Africa. Headsprout's Mohololo Wildlife Rehabilitation Center is playing key role in rescuing and rehabilitating the threatened and endangered birds. Footage captured on Thursday shows the Mohololo Wildlife Rehabilitation Center with vouchers strolling and flying around the facility. One caretaker can be seen transferring a culture to another.